Hey guys, welcome to Season 7 of the A3U Review.
Season 7?
That's right.
Damn.
It has been... This is the 4th year. We started in 2013. We are now in 2016, which brings us to the 7th season.
Time really flies.
It does. And we are so happy that all of you guys have come along on board to support us all the way through till now.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching us, and we hope to bring you more great content this season and for many more seasons.
That's right. We got a great show.
Yep.
We got to talk about a lot of stuff, of course. And the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to take another look at the Fans Project Parallax 2.0 armor set.
That's right. And then we're going to jump right into a comparison between the Hasbro Combiner Wars Defensor and the Takara's Unite Warrior Defensor.
Speaking of comparisons, we're also going to follow up with that with a comparison between the Takara Unite Warriors Devastator with the Hasbro Combiner Wars Devastator with the new Perfect Effect PC-06 add-on kit. You're not going to want to miss that. So, my name's Alex.
I'm Boris.
And you're watching
the
A3U Review.
This is the Parallax 2.0 armor. It's going to come in 2 different colors, of course. We've seen them before in the TFCon episode.
That's right.
It comes in a blue color to match with the Classics Ultra Magnus. And then what I have here is the red armor to match the Classics Prime. Now this is pretty much almost done. It's basically, I got the packaging and everything as well. I'm not going to spoil the packaging for everybody. From what I understand, there's just a few more tweaks on this set and it's pretty much good to go. But I'm going to show you guys the transformation and everything today. It actually transforms really well with all the armor still on it. And that's kind of like the evolution of this piece.
Yeah, that was actually a really big deal because when we were at TFCon, a lot of people were asking about, so you have to take all the parts off, and then it was revealed that they all stay on, and then everybody was just mind blown.
Yeah, totally. If you really think about this product too, I mean, you remember Parallax 1.0.
Yes, that was years and years ago.
Yeah, so City Commander, for those of you who don't know, in the third-party community, is pretty much one of the first pieces that really ignited the whole third-party industry. It was in at a time when there was really just, I think iGear was around.
Yep.
TFC was in its infancy. There was BTS. A long forgotten third-party
yeah,
brand.
that's a long time ago. Yeah,
we had Justy Toys,
as
well as Impossible Toys.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the Wild West of the third-party companies back then.
Yeah.
And even at that point, MMC, Mastermind Creations, hadn't come out yet, and that's one of my favorite brands. I'm going to skip past all that. I just wanted to give everyone a history lesson in case you guys didn't come in the third-party industry back then, and you came into it now where it's all saturated with, you know, million versions of one figure. And personally, I mean, I think the design is, in my opinion, slightly outdated. However, you gotta think about the engineering that actually goes into a kit.
Yeah.
We see a lot of full figures nowadays with the third-party community, and the full figures, they are great engineering, but people don't appreciate actually how hard it is to make a proper add-on kit. Yeah. It's actually sometimes a lot more work because you're engineering something to fit something else while trying to reduce the pieces of the mold that you have, for example, make sure your costs are kept together. And with the City Commander set, it really was an external armor set. Yeah. So that was already hard to make this external trailer
to fit perfectly
on him afterwards. It was basically, you know, all in all, it was an armor kit. This actually now integrates with the figure, which is ultimately even harder. Because it has to stay on. Without talking too much about it, you know, why don't we look at it just to really get back into the feel of why these kits were so great to begin with.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, let's transform him into truck mode.
Okay, now here he is transformed, and I gotta say that for what it is, it's a pretty tight looking alt mode.
It definitely makes it like this larger truck. and more updated truck.
It's a truck within a truck, essentially.
Yeah.
And I think that this is also a good size.
Yeah, totally. With the exception of the guns, which you saw, all the weapons and the shoulder cannons.
Yeah.
Those are the only things that do come off. I totally forgot to mention that. It's still not a parts former because those are actual guns.
Yeah, and guns do come off.
Yeah, that's right. But the armor itself, as you can see, transformed no problem, and it all stays on, and it all has a place, and it all like lines up with the design.
Yeah.
Now I do have the classics prime in here. What would probably look better with this is like the Henkei prime, because Takara uses a slightly different blue, which is a little bit darker.
Yeah.
You probably don't see it too much here anyways.
Yeah.
But it will be a better match if you get like either a Cloud Optimus or a Henkei Optimus.
Yeah.
And it really makes Prime like this bigger, taller presence.
Yeah.
And then it also kind of beefs up that design, which honestly I never really liked that Classics mold that much.
Yeah.
This dresses it up a little bit more at least. It hides some of that detailing and just makes him a lot more beefier.
Yeah.
So for that, I mean, I think it's a really great add-on.
Yeah, it's a good set, and I am pretty happy with the way it turned out. I was a little bit concerned, to be completely honest, because we've never experienced anything like this before, but I'm actually quite impressed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things, obviously, stylistically, like if you look at, you were asking me, the hands actually out there like that.
Yeah, that is kind of funny looking, but I guess you could look at them as black gas tanks that look kind of weird.
Yeah, essentially they're almost like fuel tanks.
Yeah, fuel tanks.
And then the guns kind of look odd too, as, you know, they kind of sit a little bit weird with as the actual exhaust.
But if you look at it straight on, where it hides that, it doesn't look that bad. You just see these pipes sticking out.
Yeah, and a lot of people have seen this kind of on its own.
Yeah.
Like if you actually attach the, just have the Vans Project trailer here, it actually does still fit in that hole. All wheels do move. Once you kind of have it together, it looks like a proper semi, and it's actually pretty cool. And if you guys don't have this piece, this one is the old Parallax trailer for the classic Prime. It used to have a little kind of fold out for the old Parallax kit.
Oh yes, yes.
So it would be cool to see it all together.
It still goes
like
quite well
legacy.
together, even though this is a product that is, really, really old. The blues are all the same.
Yeah, it looks good. I commend Fans Project for not dumping the project, just going through with it, bringing it to fruition, just to show people what can be done with add-on kits. I hope to see more modern add-on kits come from.
This is the beginning.
This project.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah, I'm hoping. There's a lot that was involved in this engineering. So that's a good updated look at this. This is going to be released soon. Let us know what you think. I mean, you guys have seen the old Classics Prime. Would you rather have the armor, without the armor? What is it? You let me know. Let Alex know.
Yeah.
Comment on it below.
Yeah. Cool. So now we're going to do a comparison between the Hasbro Combiner Wars Defensor with the Takara Unite Warriors Defensor.
Yeah, that's right. And before I just go any further, this is not what comes with it, obviously. These are the Perfect Effect hands and feet kit. The Takara Unite Warriors comes with actually the same exact feet as the Hasbro. I just don't have them here, so we're gonna have to look at this with the Perfect Effect kit. But honestly, it's nicer with the PC,
for sure.
Kits.
It actually gives them feet.
Yeah, and we showed that in previous
we have
comparisons as well.
Yeah,
they look really good. Lots of big differences, right?
Huge differences, physically and in paint job.
Yeah, totally. Since you mentioned physically, of course, the first thing to note is the the very different limb.
Yeah, for sure.
The Unite Warriors Defensor, of course, comes with groove.
Yes, that's right.
Which is the proper limb.
Yeah.
Whereas In the Hasbro one, it's been replaced by Rook. And then Groove kind of sits on his chest, which is kind of weird looking to me.
I don't know why they decided to do that.
Me neither. Just get you to buy that one more extra little thing to add to your kit.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to go into each individual bots and their details.
Yeah,
just going to look at the combine mode on this one.
Yeah.
Just looking at the combine mode, you could already tell a lot of the paint differences, right?
For sure. Right away, the blue. The blue really stands out on this one more. In fact, I like this one more. It's more clean looking. You have very solid whites and a very solid blue, and then it's highlighted with these silver parts right here.
If you look at the actual blue on the Unite Warriors hotspot, I like it a lot more. It just, it's more vibrant. It really makes that contrast between the white as well with the actual torso piece. But the thing that really annoys me is they missed a lot of paint cues on the front.
Oh, that's true.
By doing that.
Yeah. There's more details on the like the chest and the leg, the thighs there, right, with the stripes, which they decided to skip out on the Takara version.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that actually completes it because this little grill here and everything, it's a big prominent piece of the thigh. So that's kind of my first kind of big knock to the Unite Warriors version. You know, it could have been really great. I think, with that blue and the rest of the paint wear or paint application.
Well, I do love the fact that they do have silver wheels on the Takara version.
Yeah, so once again, you get the nice silver rims on everything.
The rims are nice.
And
if
you
we
can see
check
it on
out the
back
back
as well.
You can see all these right there, and it looks really good.
Yeah, so I mean, I always appreciate Takara's detail when it comes to that kind of stuff. That's a big win for Takara once again.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's what they're carrying throughout their whole line, even with the Devastator and all that.
Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to point out was I like the blades in the more white color.
I do like it more.
Yeah. But again, it does suffer from a little bit of the missing decals and paint apps, which make it kind of fun. So it's odd some of the choices that Takara decided to leave out. And then, then you look at also Streetwise. Huge difference, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Streetwise...
It's like totally different vehicles. I mean, it's the same vehicle, but the paint job makes it very different. This is not even a white. It's like it's a very, very, very light gray on the Takara one. Yeah. So it kind of is off balance with the rest of the whites here.
Yeah, and it's actually a darker gray than this one. This one even has kind of a tinge. Yeah. That makes it like kind of almost beige gray, kind of grayish beige. Yeah. If there's even that such thing. So I personally, I like the Streetwise better. I think it's not as much of a contrast as this. Yep. Also, it's got the nicer paint apps. I do like the blue in there. Like, I want it to look like a police car. Yeah. Just another note too, these aren't supposed to be transformed this way. Oh, I just like it better this way. Yeah. These knees actually supposed to like just flip right down. Yeah. But I like that this exposes the. Oh yeah. Yeah, it just makes it look a little bit more fuller. Yeah. If you kind of just look all around, you'll notice that there are subtle differences, like even in the plate that kind of covers. Yeah. You notice Takara continues the blue. Yeah. On the bottom here, whereas Hasbro paints it silver but keeps it kind of black. Yeah. Then there's the silver that you mentioned. Oh yeah, up here. I really like that. All in all, I would say that if I had a choice, because of the nice proper groove limb, I would prefer to go with the Unite Warriors version. I probably try to get my hands on, Hotspot and Streetwise to try to do some kit bashing from the North American version. Yeah. So this one, you just got to get some limbs, and you could potentially make your favorite version of Defensor. Yeah. So, I'm not going to talk too much more about it. Let's reserve our final thoughts for next episode. Yeah. When I actually put together
do the actual kit bash.
My favorite version of Defensor.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
So there you have it, a comparison of the Hasbro's Generations Combiner Wars Defensor and Takara's Unite Warrior Defensor.
So now we're going to do a comparison between two different Devastators. One with the perfect effect PC-06 parts and one without. That way you can see the difference of how much cooler it looks with those parts. So we have put the parts on the Hasbro version, and then we've left the Takara one without it. So let's get this box out of the way, and now you can see how different it looks.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were contemplating, should I get the Takara version?
Yeah.
Should I cheap out, get the Hasbro version, and spend my extra money on the actual parts?
Yeah.
This will give you a good indication of whether or not to spend the extra money on the Takara, or maybe save your money, invest it in the PC-06 parts,
Yeah.
and beef up your Hasbro version. Now, another thing to remember too, there's a PC-07 kit,
Okay.
which we'll talk about next week when I do my ultimate kit bashed version
Oh
of
yeah.
my favorite Devastator, with pieces from the Comic-Con exclusive as well as the Unite Warriors. But let's focus on the PC-06, which is basically the combine mode extra parts.
Okay.
Right away,
Yeah.
I know everyone's probably noticing this right away.
Yeah.
Right, this is the big part about this kit.
Yeah.
Mixmaster finally gets a proper
Yes.
foot. And proper, I mean, it looks like the G1.
Yeah.
Right? This did not, unfortunately.
Yeah. It did not, and also it's just small. It wasn't the right size.
Exactly, just totally not the right proportions. So I'm glad that this piece was made for it.
Yeah.
And this is actually really great because it kind of just latches on.
Yeah.
And creates this kind of like this sliding, pivoting joint.
Yeah.
And it allows this piece to stay on when you transform them into mixing mode as well.
Cool.
Yeah, so it gives the whole bot itself
Yeah.
a different look, even in alt mode.
Yes.
The next thing you probably noticed too, Alex,
Yeah.
is the
Oh yeah.
purple hands.
The purple hands. I mean, we got this extended part here.
That's right.
And
it's
then
longer, so it's not so stocky.
Yep. And then the hands are fully articulated. I mean, they're just a lot more. You know, look at it. It looks more organic looking now that it actually looks like actual fingers as opposed to these blocky things that you have in the original version.
Yeah, you can do a lot more with it. The original version, all fingers had to move with it. This is actually a really great upgrade for the hands.
Yeah.
I really do like it. Another thing that makes the Devi look a lot more substantial is these little arm pieces that don't make it feel so restricted and close together. Now there are some pieces that are kind of like they are exposed a little bit more than they used to be, and you might notice them a little bit more, but I think on the whole it actually makes it look much better when it's wider.
I love the width that it gives the upper torso. It just makes them look more muscular and makes them look more of like a menacing monster. So I think it adds a way better proportion to the whole Devastator itself. So really cool add-on.
Speaking of proportions, I mean that's what is done right on this part as well.
Yeah, look at that compared to this. This thing is just tiny.
Yeah, that's right. So the scoop and this piece here has just been, kind of revamped a little bit, just to be slightly larger, so that it's more proportionate with the whole figure itself. I like the upgrade. And then also, speaking of that upgrade, there's also the crane. What Hasbro had before was this kind of like crane piece that looks really tiny like that, right?
Yeah.
Like the Takara one. But what this kit does is it adds not only a little bit more kind of a beef to the crane itself.
Yeah.
It also utilizes the hook from the original, and it helps to extend it. So
there we go.
Show it off here. It actually extends the arm.
Yep.
And that's just the original arm. You don't have to get rid of any pieces.
Yeah.
You just attach it to this bigger kind of like cover almost, and then the cover locks into the hinge, and then allows the original hook to just come out a little bit further.
Yeah.
And it definitely ends up making it look a lot more proportionate at the end of the day. Whoa.
Okay.
So this is also very stable, as you can see.
Yeah.
Unlike this one.
Yeah. See, once you add on that mix master, that part, it just makes it a lot better.
Yeah. So I forgot to mention to Alex that I actually broke this foot, so it's falling everywhere right now.
Yeah.
So it's, you know.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of fans crying out there. Well, how could you have broken your UW04? It happens.
Yep.
But yeah, all in all,
oh, we forgot to mention the knee plate.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Of course. The knee plates. They're just these, really simple little plates that cover this like ugly.
There's a hole there. Yeah, like it almost
on.
feels like something does belong there.
Yeah, exactly. So this is perfect.
So it was a given that perfect effect decided to fill that up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it adds way more dimension to the figure because it looks so plain right now with all that green.
And then the last thing I wanted to talk about too was they give kind of like an homage to the IDW comics. So if you hide the original head, it does come with this extra little headpiece here. And this is a nod to when Prowl combines with Devastator in the comics. It looks a little bit funny.
Yeah, it looks a bit weird.
But this is definitely a fan thing.
Yeah.
This was done for the fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Prowl's head basically on the thing, and actually there's a small little tiny Prowl head on
Yeah. That's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. This is actually done really well, the actual sculpt.
Well, if you're a fan of the IDW, you definitely will appreciate that.
I still prefer my Devastator with the original head sculpt that came with the Hasbro, but this is still done really well. It looks really cool, and it's pretty funny.
Cool.
What did you think of the color match?
I think it went really well together. I have no complaints there. I mean, I love all the parts. And I mean, if you look at it up close, you do notice that they are slightly off, but it doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, I noticed it's actually most noticeable with this piece here. If you really look at it, it's slightly off. It's an off kind of green. It's not like that nice brighter limey green.
I don't think too many people are gonna.
No, you're not gonna really notice it unless it's at a certain light.
Yeah.
This was done really well though.
Yeah.
This actually
it's
matches
like seamless.
Quite well. There is a slight difference, but it's really not noticeable.
Yeah.
Same thing with the purple in the hands.
Yeah.
It really does match quite well, as you can see with the gun here. So all in all, what a great kit.
Great kit.
Definitely gives a lot of people a lot of things to think about if you are still on the fence.
There's so many options now.
Yeah. Let us know once again in the comments which one you like, if you don't even care for the actual extra pieces.
Yeah.
Or if you would really like to get the extra pieces and you still feel like you need to have the Takara version with it.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts, and next week I'll do kind of a kit bash of what I felt like was the best pieces from each Devastator and combine them all into one for you guys.
Okay. And that's our episode for today. We hope you enjoyed it.
That's right, and as promised, next episode we're going to do some kit bashing. Now, we don't usually do a lot of kit bashing.
No, we don't.
In fact, we haven't done it at all.
Never.
But we're going to try that next episode because of all this Combiner War crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It actually gives us a great opportunity with so many different versions of these combiners to do something really cool and unique the way that we want it. And then hopefully it'll give some inspiration for our audience out there to do their own kit bashes. Maybe submit some photos to us.
Oh, that would be a cool idea. So what are we going to kit bash?
We're going to kit bash the Combiner Wars Hasbro Defensor with the Unite Warriors Defensor. And also, we're going to do the Devastator I'm going to take parts from all 3 Devastators that I've got.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the SDCC version with the Hasbro, with the Takara, and then I'm going to mix in a whole bunch of PC-06 parts.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to also introduce to you guys next episode the Perfect Effect PC-07 kit,
Ooh.
which also gives some upgrades to the actual individual bots themselves. So it's actually going to be quite a packed episode. So
yeah.
Hopefully you guys will stay tuned and catch that whole entire episode. You don't want to miss it.
Absolutely. It's going to be a really fun episode, so stay tuned for that. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, Ages 3 and Up, and also follow us on Twitter at Ages 3 and Up. We're also on Instagram, so also check us out there. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Peace.